What's good, YouTube? Team Victory come back with another Cardfight Vanguard deck profile. Today we got post clan selection volume 1, Dragonic Vanquisher. Very strong deck, and let's get this started. So for your starter, any of the Norikami V starters will work. It's all they gave us. Just on ride, draw a card, and get a quick shield. It's simple, but it's useful. It's fine. For our first grade 3, we got the main card in the deck, Dragonic Vanquisher Full Bronto. We're going to run 4 of these. Skill, it's regarded as Dragonic Vanquisher. When placed, all front row gains plus 10k. And then his auto ability is when bound from hand during your turn, if your vanguard is Dragonic Vanquisher, discard a card from hand, ride this unit to stand. It gets a -1 drive until the end of the turn. And then during your turn's end phase, you cannot get an imaginary gift as hell. And at the end of the turn, write a grade 3 from Soul as rest. And the ability can only be used once per turn. It's very good. Get all your attacks in and swing with the Vanguard. Ride in from bound zone. Get another cell marker. Plus 10k to the unit. It's a very good finisher. Our next grade 3, we're running 3 of Dragonic Vanquisher Full Bronto. When playtesting, I playtest 3 and I playtest 4, and I feel like 3 was good because you have other units to check like top 5 cards, top 7, and search for him. But I mean, if you want to run 4, you can for more consistency, and I would if I was you too, just to be more consistent and not brick. Because if you brick, it's gonna be bad. But during your turn, if a total of 3 or more units in any player's cards were bound, all your front rows gain +3. And then counterblast 1, choose one of any player's front row rear guards, bind them. And if your soul has a grade 3, your opponent chooses a card from their hand and binds it. So that helps because you're going to full Bronto, and then you rewrite him from soul. And then next turn you'll have the additional grade 3 for the bound from hand, and then yeah, so it all works out. It's very good. And then for our last grade 3, probably the best rear guard in the deck. This card's kind of insane. Jaggy Shot Dragoon. Grade 3, you don't ride him. You call him on the cell circle pretty much, or the rear guard circle. Vanguard or rear guard circle. When it attacks a vanguard, bind a card from your hand. Choose one of your opponent's front row rear guards, bind it, and if your opponent's front row has no rear guards, draw a card. Auto ability rear guard circle. At the end of the battle that it attacked, if your vanguard is Dragonic Vanquisher, put into the soul, draw a card. Very good card. Let you bind things from hand. And so binder for full Bronto for the re-ride. Binder for the grade 2 for the recall. It's very good. Very good. So starting with the grade 2, we got 4 of probably the MVP of the grade 2 lineup. Demonic Dragon Berserker. Very good card. Auto ability rear guard circle. When attack hits a Vanguard, Soul Blast 1, draw a card and choose one of your opponent's rear guards, bind it, so extra draw power, extra bind power, extra pressure for your opponent to want to guard this. And then when bound from hand during your turn, you may call this card to a rear guard circle. If called, plus 10k. So just with like Jaggy Shot, if you already have, you can just call Jaggy Shot, bind, call, plus 10k, and even your opponent gets a damage trigger, it's still gonna hit. So it's very good because you usually call to the cell circle, so it's really plus 15 with the 5k from the SL2. So it's very good, very good. Next grade 2, you run 4 of Rock Climb Dragoon. It's a very good card. Skill, at the end of the battle that's attacked, if your Vanguard is Dragonic Vanquisher, retire this unit, draw a card, and bind a card from your hand. Choose one of your opponent's rear guards and bind it. So good draw card, good bind card, and then you bind from hand to call out a full Bronto or the other grade 2 that gives it plus 10k. Next grade 2, I run 2 of. You can run 3 of. It's preference. Flint's Sword Eradicator Chocho. This card's very good. It's a standard, so that's pretty good. When placed, +1, choose a column, bind one of your opponent's front row rear guards in that column, and move up to 1 back row rear guard to the front row. So you bind the front row and then move the back row to the front row for extra binding power. And then once per turn, at the end of the battle, if your vanguard attacked and your opponent has no rear guards in their front row, it's +1, stand this unit. It's very good. You have a very big, you generate a lot of accel markers in this deck, so it's a lot of attacks, and even though they're for small numbers, it's just poking your opponent away. You can grade 3 kill your opponent. It's very good. So just +1, stand it for the extra attack. It's very good. For our next grade 2, our last grade 2, Volt-Shred Dragon. Very good card. When it attacks, if your vanguard is Dragonic Vanquisher, soul +1, draw a card and bind a card from your hand. It's another bind from hand to get out full Bronto or your grade 2, and you draw. And soul's not really a problem in this deck. So the soul, you can use the soul blast. For our first grade 1, you're gonna run Mighty Bolt Dragon. Mighty Bolt's pretty simple. Very good card. If any player's card was bound, he gets a +5k, so he's a 13k booster. He's very good. You can even call him on the accel circle sometimes, and he'd be an 18k, so it's pretty good. And then just when it's rear guard or vanguard, when it's placed, top 5, look for a grade 3 and ditch a card. So it's one of your searches in the deck. Next grade 1, we're gonna be running 4 of Chain Bolt Dragoon. And same thing pretty much. It's just, but this is a vanguard circle. When placed on vanguard circle, top 7 for card with Vanquisher in its card name, and add it to hand. No discard, which is nice, but it has to be on the vanguard circle. So this is your ideal first ride. And then this card is allowed to be bound from hand in callback. So it's another resource for that mechanic of the deck. And then for our last grade 1, you're gonna be running 2 of Riding Phoenix. Riding Phoenix is a pretty good card, auto. It's a drop zone ability. Pretty much when your opponent's rear guard is bound, call him from the drop zone, give him +3k. So it's just extra attacks, extra booster, whatever you need. For the trigger lineup, running a crit. You can mess around with fronts, but the crit is just insane with the rewrite of Vanquisher and giving your units crits, and your opponent they just can't guard everything. So you can mess around with the fronts, but the deck gives power to all the units with the Vanquisher skill, so it's fine. The grade 2 gets the +10k. Every other unit gets +10k, so it's very good. So run the crits. Then we're gonna be running 4 regular draw PGs, and then of course our standard playset of the 4 heals, and then 1 quick shield, and then you're gonna be wanting to run Cell 2 in this deck. You run a Cell 2 for the extra draw power. The draw power is insane, and then the +5k is really good because all the units are going to gain +10k off the Vanguard skill, and the 5k makes it so even if your opponent gets a damage trigger, all your attacks are still hitting through. So yeah, that's my Dragonic Vanquisher post clan selection volume 1. Yeah, thank y'all for watching. Like, subscribe, comment. Thank y'all.